everyone, and welcome to your next episode of Cooking with Nichole. Tonight we are going to do a fun take on ramen noodle. So a low carb version of ramen noodle. Ramen is one of my kids' most favorite dishes in the whole wide world. But obviously we all know that it's not really all that good for us. Did you know that only a pack of ramen is a serving size? One whole pack of ramen is actually 2 serving sizes, which is approximately 75 to 85 grams of net carb, or roughly 15 to 16 teaspoons of sugar. If you don't really have an idea of how much sugar that is, do me a favor and go get a measuring spoon, a teaspoon, and measure out 16 teaspoons of sugar. Look at it and ask yourself, would I eat that all by itself? It gives you a great visual. And that's what's jacking up your blood sugar, which then prevents us from burning body fat. So my alternative is to use an interesting type of noodle. So tonight we are going to use Explore Cuisine organic Adzuki bean spaghetti. And you can find this particular spaghetti online at their own Explore Asian or Explore Cuisine website. Otherwise, Amazon, and that's where I picked mine up, was on Amazon Prime, is where I found these guys. If you just type in bean noodles, you're gonna find these. You will also find the soybean, edamame, and black bean versions, and you can use any of them. What I love about these particular noodles is that it is only 7 grams of net carb because there are 13 grams of fiber in these guys because of the bean component, and there's 24 grams of protein. So if you wanted to have a night that didn't include meat, this would be a great option for you because you're still getting that protein without having to have that meat component. If you're trying to incorporate more plant-based options into your nutritional routine, a fabulous option. So what we have here then is I've already pre-cooked the whole box of the Adzuki spaghetti. So this is 8 ounces of Adzuki spaghetti already cooked. I have 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. You might be like, what the heck is oyster sauce? Sounds gross. It's not. It's actually very salty. It is made from oyster juices that they have rendered down and thickened up, kind of like balsamic vinaigrette, but it gets nice and salty, and it has no fish taste to it whatsoever. A teaspoon of sesame oil, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, and 2 tablespoons of the actual recipe called for brown sugar, but to keep this lower in carb, I'm using 2 tablespoons of Swerve, the brown sugar variety. So that's how we're going to keep the carbs down. We have 4 cloves of 4 tablespoons of butter. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out by creating our sauce. So we're just going to dump all of our little dishes of our various ingredients into our bowl here. Get all of the goodness. And we're just going to break this down and whisk this all together. The brown sugar might make it a little thicker in nature, but once it's heated in the pan with the noodles, the garlic and onion, it will thin out a little bit. Of course, if you feel like the noodles are too thick or they don't have enough coating on them, you could always add additional butter or some olive oil to thin things out a little bit. So now we have our sauce prepared, and we're going to start up our wok or our larger frying pan to fit everything into it. And you're going to want to put it on medium-high heat. You're going to add your 4 tablespoons of butter and let that melt down. And to that, then, we are going to add in our garlic and our green onion. Already smells like a fantastic fried rice in here. We're just gonna let this butter and this onion cook down until everything is aromatic and is softer texture. Once this is all cooked down and aromatic, then we're just going to add in the Adzuki bean, noodles, and the sauce. Toss it all together until it is kind of heated through, essentially, and boom, it's done. Then you don't have anything more to worry about, and you have a complete meal. You could add chicken, you could add shrimp, you could add sliced beef, whatever you wanted to. If you wanted to use a different type of noodle, of course, or if you wanted to make it into an even more satisfying meal. So we got this cooked down. Like I said, we're gonna toss this together here. You wanna make sure you're using a big enough pan, otherwise everything isn't going to fit in there. If your noodles are stuck together, you can simply just add a little splash of warm water to break them up so that they aren't all stuck together. The oil from the butter is going to help move these around. And then we add in our sauce components as well. And our meal is complete once it's all warmed through and cooked through, and this the flavors have marinated and come together. This dish makes approximately 4 servings, 2 ounces of noodles apiece, for 11.3 grams of net carb and 24.5 grams of protein. If you change up the noodles, if you add protein, if you add vegetables, you are of course going to change the nutrition facts information. But this is your sweet deal for tonight. I hope you enjoy it as much as my family enjoys a fancy ramen. And we'll have a great evening. Bye-bye.